Hello, my name is Jonathan Scruggs. I'm the director of the Center for Conscience Initiatives and a senior counsel for Alliance Defending Freedom. Like all Americans, Christians and people of faith are guaranteed the right to free speech and the free exercise of religion. But across our great nation, people are being punished by the government for living out their convictions. The government is using sexual orientation and gender identity laws, or SOGI laws, to punish people for declining to promote messages that violate their beliefs about marriage and sexuality. Barronelle Stutzman, for example, is a florist in the state of Washington. After serving her client and friend Rob for nearly 10 years, Rob asked Barronelle to create flower arrangements to celebrate his same-sex wedding. But because of her Christian faith, Barronelle politely declined to create those arrangements and referred him to a florist who could. Barronelle was then sued by the state of Washington and eventually by Rob too for violating a state SOGI law. In reality, Barronelle willingly serves all types of clients. She just doesn't promote all messages. After the U.S. Supreme Court accepted her case, it sent the case back down to the Washington court so the court would rehear Barronelle's case again. But that state Supreme Court again ruled against Barronelle, and her case is now pending before the U.S. Supreme Court a second time. No American should be harassed or threatened by the government, though, for exercising their constitutionally protected First Amendment rights of free speech and religious freedom. Or look to Virginia, where a recent law, the so-called Virginia Values Act, forces Bob Updegrove and his photography business to create photographs celebrating same-sex weddings. The law also forces faith-based organizations, like Calvary Road Baptist Church, to abandon their core convictions in hiring and other policies they set for their church and their school. If Bob or Calvary Road don't promote the message the government wants about marriage and sexuality, they face fines of up to $100,000 per violation. In these situations, the government isn't just telling people what they can't say. The government is telling them what they must say. SOGI laws also violate the privacy of women by forcing them to share private spaces with men. In Alaska, the city of Anchorage tried to force a women's shelter to accept biological men who identify as women simply just to sleep 3 feet away from women who have experienced rape, sex trafficking, and domestic violence. Fortunately, after a loss in federal court, the city agreed to give up its campaign. The government even uses SOGI laws to harm efforts by nonprofit organizations to find loving homes for children in our nation's overloaded foster care system. New Hope Family Services, a faith-based adoption provider in New York, has placed over 1,000 children in the arms of loving mothers and fathers over the last 50 years. Even though New Hope does not receive any government funding, the state is threatening to shut them down just because New Hope wants to place children in families with a mom and a dad. The government, though, exists to protect freedom, not threaten it. Government-elected officials have a duty to protect and promote these freedoms. Passing laws that infringe on the freedoms of Barronelle and of Bob and of New Hope undercuts the freedom for all Americans. As the U.S. Supreme Court stated in Mayflower v. Becerra, the people lose when the government is the one deciding which idea should prevail. The government shouldn't force anyone to promote a message they don't believe in. Everyone, regardless of their religion or their background, has the right to be free from the government coercing them to say things they don't want to. Our clients are not the first to be targeted by the government, and they won't be the last. They are strong, brave individuals and organizations standing up for their faith and for your freedom. You can find out more about our brave clients and about Alliance Defending Freedom's fight for religious liberty at adflegal.org.